2 cosine of x minus pi over 2. All right, we're going to go through and kind of understand what each thing does first. Okay, the 2 in front. The 2 in front is my amplitude. That's how much I stretch by. Okay, so my graph's going to go up 2 and down 2 from wherever the middle of my graph is. This is number 7 on the review that I passed out. Super. Okay, so 2 is my amplitude. It's a cosine graph, so I know that's going to mean I'm going to start at the top when I end up graphing it. Is there anything here, Jacqueline, in front of my x? No. Okay, if there's anything in front of my x, that would change my period length. Since there's nothing there, that means my period length is the normal period length of 2 pi. Okay, the last thing here, again, for those that are working here, it's number 7. The last thing we're looking at is the minus pi over 2. Since it's in parentheses with my x, it's going to take me left or right, and it does the opposite. So since it says minus pi over 2, it takes me which direction? It takes me to the right. Okay, so kind of look at all that information that we just got from it. Okay, Jacqueline, do you have any questions about what's on there? 2 stretches it. It's a cosine, so it starts at the top. Nothing in front of my x, so my period length is 2 pi, and that takes me to the right. Okay, so then we're going to put all that information on my graph. There are the same steps every time we graph these. I'll label them out here if we need help. Number 1 is always label your x-axis, so label your period length first. Okay, once we've done that, we can do our vertical shift, if there is one. Okay, graph our midline. This one's not going to have one. Number 3 would be do our amplitude next. Number 4 would be then shift horizontally, if we have that. And then number 5 would be just to finish it by graphing. Okay, those are kind of the steps of making my graph. So the very first thing, x and a y-axis. So I'm labeling my period length right now. When I label period length, always 4 lines. The 4th line here, this 4th line is going to always be whatever your period length is. So in this case, it's 2 pi. To get the middle one, you take half of 2 pi, so that's 1 pi. To get the first one, I'm taking half of pi, so it's pi over 2. And then I count 1 half, 2 half, 3 halves. So we did that. We labeled our period length. Vertical shift. If there was a vertical shift, it would be a number out here like plus 3 or minus 2. And that would move my graph up or down plus 3 or minus 2. Since it doesn't have that here, there is no vertical shift. So I didn't have to do that step. Next would be amplitude. So that means I'm going to stretch by however much is in front. Since it says 2 here, that means from my midline, and in this case my midline is my x-axis. I'm going to go up 2, and I'm going to go down 2. So that is the new top of my graph. That's the top. I can't go any higher than that. That's the bottom. I can't go any lower than that. So I did amplitude. The number step 4 says shift horizontally. So normally, since it's a cosine graph, it says start at the top. So I would start right here. But since it says minus pi over 2 there, that shifted me to the right, pi over 2. So Hannah, how many hash marks do I have to go over to go pi over 2? 1, because right here it says 1 hash mark means pi over 2. So I go to the right 1 hash mark, make a new dot. That's my shifting horizontally, and then so I've done that. So the final thing is just graph. Since I'm on the top, my next place is the middle, then the bottom, then the middle, and then my last one would be on the top. There is 2 cosine of x minus pi over 2.